Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Ellen and this is my AUTHORTUBE newbie tag.
Why do you leave me lonely when you know I'm bad at being alone?
Since I love books, I read books, and I'm a writer, I figure I'm going to reach out to both the BookTube community and the AUTHORTUBE community, which is why I will be uploading a video for BookTube every Wednesday and a video for AUTHORTUBE every Friday. I know there's a line that you're not supposed to cross, and I'm going to do my best not to cross that line, but yeah, I love books. I love connecting with other readers, but I'm also a writer. I love to write, and I want to be able to connect with other authors as well. So that said, question number 1, how did you find AUTHORTUBE? Well, I found AUTHORTUBE by accident, to be quite honest, and it was just, I happened upon a video done by Alexa Dunn, and she was giving writing tips and publishing tips, things like that, and she mentioned, I think in one of her videos, AUTHORTUBE, and I was like, what's AUTHORTUBE? Yeah, that's how well versed I was in the YouTube universe. Anyway, yeah, so that's how I found out about AUTHORTUBE, through Alexa Dunn. And I'll actually link her down below. She's really great, and I love her videos. So question number 2, what genres do you write in? I write what I love. So I write suspense, action, drama, some dry wit mixed in, and I love writing male relationships. It's not that I don't write female characters or anything like that, but I love writing bromance. I love writing father-son relationships. I love writing, in the case of Toby Garrison Chronicles, there's also a strong uncle-nephew relationship. Just male dynamics and relationships. I love writing those. Question number 3, what is your preferred writing tense and what is your preferred point of view? I prefer to write in past tense, and for point of view I prefer the limited third person point of view. Number 4, plotter, pantser, or plantser. For my first book I was very much, I think, a plantser. Like I had an idea for the story. I knew where I wanted it to end, but I didn't know a lot of the story points in advance. I got the basics down. I knew what, like I said, how my story was beginning, how it was going to end. I knew nothing about the middle, and I think that made things a lot more difficult for my editor, but it also made things more difficult for me in my rewrite process. Plus the fact that I went from thinking it was going to be a short story to deciding it should be a novella, to my editor saying, you know what, maybe just write it as a novel, and then you can flesh out the characters more and all that stuff. So I would have saved myself a lot of time if I had just outlined. But since then I've discovered K.M. Weiland's book, How to Outline Your Novel, and then How to Structure Your Novel, and I have since become enamored with outlining. I love to outline. Number 5, are you self-published, traditionally published, or yet to be published? That's also a mixture. Okay, I'm obviously not yet to be published. I have been published. Book 1 was published by Michael Terence Publishing and in the UK, and book 2 I published myself, and then book 3 I'll be publishing myself as well. I would have gone with Michael Terence Publishing again, but they changed their business plan, I guess, or they changed their way of doing business. So now they help people self-publish, and if I had the money up front, I would pay them in a heartbeat, because it's an amazing company, but I can't afford to pay someone else to publish it. So I published book 2 on my own, learned a lot from that, and I'm going to take those lessons, meaning I made mistakes and learned from them. I'm going to take those lessons I learned and apply them when I publish book 3. What publishing house are you represented by? And if you're not represented, what is your dream publishing house and or agent? I find when you're looking for an agent or a manager, they're very much looking for what is popular at that moment. And I can understand that. That's how they survive as a business. But I write what I love, and I write what I know, in a way, in terms of genres. I'd love to write a fantasy novel sometime, but I don't know fantasy novels very well yet, or right now. So, working on that. But like action, suspense, drama, a little bit of dry wit. That's my thing. That's my jam. But it doesn't seem to be the jam for very many agents or managers out there. So, yeah, I'm kind of representing myself right now. Number 7, what AuthorTube videos can we expect to find on your channel? I have some now that are tips for authors to try and help new authors avoid making the mistakes I made. Also, grammar tips, things like that. Like I have a couple grammar hacks. I'm going to make videos about like writing blogs. I've got things in the works, but nothing has been confirmed yet, so I don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet, so to speak. Like I said before, I have made mistakes already and I've learned from them, and I'm hoping to maybe help other authors avoid making those same mistakes. Number 8, when did you start writing? I know when as a teenager I wrote a story, so I had no idea where it was going, how it was going to end, and I did that with a couple fan fiction stories as well. So yeah, when I was a teenager I wrote a story, never went anywhere, never even finished it. I'd like to find it sometime though, but it's back in Nova Scotia. What was the first story you ever wrote? Oh dear. Okay, so when I was a teenager, the story I started and never finished. Oh dear. Do I want to say this? Alright, I might end up editing this out. A fictional story with real people in it, which was weird. I was obsessed back then with New Kids on the Block. Still enjoy their music. It's very nostalgic and it holds up for me anyway. But I'm not obsessed anymore. So I wrote a story that revolved around them being on tour, and then a fictional character kind of based on me, I think, if I remember correctly, but she got mugged or something or whatever, and then Jordan came to the rescue and the other guys helped out, and yeah, it was but I never finished it, so I have no idea if the fictional female character and Jordan ever got together in the end. I don't know, but it would be fun to read right now. Embarrassing but fun. Anyway, so that was the first story I ever wrote. I mean, I'm sure I wrote stories in school, for school assignments or whatever, but I don't remember any of those. I just remember the New Kids on the Block one. The memory is so vivid of writing that, and I can't believe I still remember that. I was probably about 15 or 16, and yeah. So that was the first story I ever wrote, but it never got finished. First story I wrote that actually got finished was probably a fan fiction, supernatural fan fiction. Yeah. Number 10. What authors have inspired your writing the most? I'd have to say Dean Koontz, because although I've always loved Roald Dahl and C.S. Lewis and Franklin W. Dixon, Dean Koontz is more along the lines of what I write now. So yeah, in terms of inspiring me with my writing, is that what it is? Yeah. In terms of inspiring me with my writing, it would have to be Dean Koontz. Do you schedule writing sessions? I do. I don't always keep the schedule. I schedule writing sessions, but not for specific times. I'll say, okay, Monday, I'm going to record YouTube video and do some reading and work on my outline. And Tuesday, I'm going to focus more working on my outline, but I'm going to get some reading in as well, edit the YouTube video. If I'm working on more than one writing project at a time, which I don't do very often, I'll say, you know, I remember when I was working on screenplays, and I was working on a screenplay for spec screenplay for Scorpion, but I was also working on book 2 for the Toby Garrison Chronicles. So I would say, you know, okay, I'm going to work on the screenplay on Tuesday, and then Wednesday I'm going to work on chapter whatever of Good Samaritan, or whatever the case might be. But I don't schedule out specific blocks of time because it never ends up happening. Does that even make sense? I don't know. Oh, do you type at a typewriter, a computer, write by hand, or a blend? It's a blend of writing by hand and working at the computer. So, and it depends on what stage I'm at in my writing. If I'm writing my outline, I find I outline better by hand. And I'm told that it accesses writing by hand accesses a different part of the brain. But, or I'm not told that, I read it somewhere. But yeah, I outline by hand on paper, in notebooks. I have so many different notebooks, and I just find I'm able to access more brainstorming type details on paper. And then when I'm done with the outline and I'm ready to actually write the book, then I start on the computer. And number 13. What are you most looking forward to now that you're on AuthorTube? Connecting with other authors. I'm hoping that I can help authors that are newer at this game than I am, the way other authors on AuthorTube have helped me. So that was the final question. I hope this was at least mildly entertaining. If you did enjoy the video, please like and subscribe below. Don't forget to click the bell so that you get notified when I upload new videos. And have a great week. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. Bye-bye.